Is this thing on? Yep, it's on. Hey guys and girls, it's your girl Green Fire Motivation, aka Judy Owens. How are you guys doing today? Okay, so Green Fire Motivation has a question for you as always. So, the question, are you ready? Are you ready? The question is, do you know how to use what you got? Do you know how to use what you got? I want to thank Mother Patty Levinston. Special shout out for the term. I'm pretty sure other people have said it, but it meant the most when she said it. So, thank you, Mother Patty. Okay, so once again, this is the Green Fire Motivation Channel. The purpose of this channel is to empower you to take action and take control of your life. So by all means, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button. If there's anything that I said in this message, in this video, or even on any other of the videos that I've done, by all means, share the video with somebody. The point is to help as many people as possible as I am growing myself. So, back to the question. The question was, how often do you use what you got? Okay, so here's the deal. Today, I was loading my book bag. I have a handy dandy book bag that goes with me just about everywhere. 9 times out of 10, I take it with me even if I don't need it, because there's always the thought in my mind, what if? What if there's something there that I need? What if I need a pen? What if I need a notebook? What if I need to look over some notes from school, or look over some notes from class, or take some anecdotal notes, whatever? What if? So I keep this book bag with me everywhere. Well, today as I was packing up my book bag, I noticed that it is very tattered, very worn. Anybody who's had a book bag for a while knows what it starts to look like on the inside before it starts to deteriorate on the outside, per se. So on the inside, was the material that used to be nice and clean and a little bit shiny. Well, now it's cracked and peeling and all that good stuff. And you can't see this on the outside, but you can see it on the inside because, of course, that's where you constantly, and I constantly put my notebooks, my pens, papers, whatever else I need to put in the bag, notebooks, textbooks, so on and so forth. So what's happened is the bag is worn on the inside. And you can see, like I said, the material on the inside doesn't look as new as it used to. And so I thought to myself, I said, man, I need to get another book bag. And then I started to look at the book bag and I was like, wow, the inside looks a hot mess, but the outside doesn't look that bad. I started looking for holes and, any areas of the bag that you could actually see through. And to be honest, I couldn't find any. Like, even though the inside of the bag looks very used, I couldn't find any holes or anything on the outside, on the shoulder straps, on, anything, any portion of the book bag on the outside that looked as though it needed to be replaced. The only thing that I could see is that it's time to wash it. So I'm definitely going to wash my book bag. But the reason why I told that story is because of my thought process after, cleaning out my book bag, thinking to myself, oh, I need a new book bag. And then later on, thinking more on it. And as you guys know, since you've been following me, and once again, I thank you. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. But if this is your second time here or any more than that, thank you so much for continuing to return to go with me on this dive into debt journey. So the reason why I began to reflect on my thoughts regarding my book bag is because the very first thought at the, when I saw it, the inside of the book bag was, I need a new book bag. But then as I started to further inspect the outside of the book bag, I realized maybe I should just use what I have. So the question, how often do you use what you got? Okay. So on this Dive into Debt series, basically we're talking about getting familiar with your debt so that you know what you need to do in order to get out of it. You know how much you owe, you know who you owe it to, you know, you mapped out a plan on how you're going to pay it off. And, you know, I'm following Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps. So anyone who's following that step knows that I'm actually on baby step number 2, which is the longest step, which is to pay off your debts. So I have been, you know, over the last 2 months, I've paid off 6 debts, 3 collections about 2 weeks ago. And so I'm steady, you know, pushing forward. You know, I've got my $1,500 saved. And to be honest, I wouldn't even say save, but I did call it an emergency fund, just as Dave Ramsey did, an emergency fund. So $1,500 is stashed to the side, and I'm using the extra cash to go ahead and pay some bills off. So the reason why I asked the question, how often do you use what you got, is because here I am telling myself and working to get out of debt. And yet I still had that mindset as soon as I saw something was an issue to buy something. Okay. Now, I don't know how often you reflect on your thoughts, you know, but it's definitely a good process. One of the things that my friend Alana always talks about is, you know, journaling and reflecting and seeing what you can learn, how you can grow, and all that good stuff. So thank you, Alana. But the reason why I mentioned that as far as the dive into debt is because I'm trying to get out of debt. But one thing that you have to understand, if you're trying to get out of debt, then you don't need to keep spending money needlessly. Okay? And when I say needlessly, I mean looking at my book bag, the inside of the book bag looked torn, looked used, but the outside of the book bag did not, which means that even though my first thought was I need a new book bag, truth be told, I should just use what I got. Use the book bag that I have until it becomes absolutely necessary to change the book bag out. Now, truth be told, the book bag was $25. I got it from Walmart. And so, you know, depending on how big or small your debt is, $25 may not seem like a lot. But like I said in the video the other day, you know, a little bit over time equals a lot. And I talked about, you know, the $9, going over the $9 budget when you're only wanting to spend $200. And so $900 becomes $9 becomes $10, becomes $20, and then all of a sudden you're changing your budget up. So this scenario applies to my book bag because it's like I have a book bag, and even though it's worn on the inside, the outside shows no signs that it needs to be replaced. So instead of me going to replace a book bag that I don't really need to replace right now, I need to use what I got. Okay? And okay, granted, $25, like I said, may not seem like a lot, but over time, it can be a lot. Now, imagine if every time, you know, as often as I use that book bag, to be honest, looking on the inside of it, I could probably swap that book bag out maybe 5 or 6 times a year. So, whereas that $25 may not seem like much, swapping it out 5 or 6 times goes from $25 to $125 to $150. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can pay something off with $150, and if not pay it off, you can come close to paying it off, maybe half of it. You know, a lot of people don't understand, and to be honest, at one point in my life, I didn't understand either how important one penny is. How important one penny is. And if you don't think one penny is important, think about this for a second. If you had 999,900, excuse me, 900,999, 6 nines, .99. You'd be 1 cent off of having $1 million. Look now, if y'all gonna beat me up over these nines, I don't even want to hear it. But you know what I mean. You can be 1 cent off of being a millionaire. Just saying. And I know that's an extreme scenario, but understand, you know, the value of a penny, the value of a nickel, the value of a dime, the value of a dollar. Over the years, all of these add up to how much money you've either spent or saved. And that's cut and dry. The money that you have, you either spent it or you saved it. There is no in between. You spent it or you saved it. And the reason why I say that is because if you have an item in your house that you're looking at it and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I just need a new one. Oh, I don't like the way it looks anymore. I just need a new one. Think about it for a second. If you're on your get out of debt journey, what you really should be saying is, you know what? Let me do the inspection on this item and verify that I truly need to get a new one. Like, I inspected my book bag. I was like, man, it looks better. It looks used on the inside, but the outside looks fine. So what did I say to myself? I had to remember that I'm trying to get out of debt. So that $25 could go towards something that I'm trying to pay off. It's all about what your priorities are when it comes to getting out of debt. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if you have a sink that's full of water because the stopper is in there and you're not letting any of the water out, then the only way that the water is going to get out of the sink is if it evaporates. But I promise you, if you take the stopper out of the sink, all the water is going to flow out the bottom. So this is the reason why I'm trying to get you to understand. Use what you got. Now, this obviously is not an absolute video. There are no absolutes. There is an exception to just about every rule unless it's God's rule. Okay, so understand, a little bit when it comes to finances equals a little bit now equals a lot later. There you go. A little bit now equals a lot later. If you use what you have and only replace what you absolutely need to replace, you can take those funds and put it towards your debt loss. You're getting out of debt. You're diving into your debt. Okay? And I'm not going to keep drilling this in. Hopefully, you got it by now. And I'll go ahead and tell you that I'm talking to myself too, because I'm going to be watching this video as a reminder, as a refresher, as a, hey, you can do it. Keep going. You're doing great kind of thing. So, this has been your girl, Green Fire Motivation, aka Judy Owens. I'll be coming at you guys tomorrow with a Wordovation Wednesday where we win with words. Bye!